Hello, welcome. This is Unit 3, Polynomials, and this particular problem is about how to simplify, multiply polynomials. It's, in this case, a binomial times a trinomial. I'm going to show you 3 ways to do this. Just really quickly, I'll use 2 binomials as a way of thinking about this. Let's just say I had a plus b times c minus d, for example. One way to set this up would be with just the lines. Just each of those 4 lines represents a product. The important thing to keep in mind is that we multiply and then we add. And by add, I mean combine, meaning it could actually be subtract. But we do that in all of these cases. That's the first place I'm going to show you. The second way would be to use a box. And we could do a plus b along the top or the side, and then c minus d, and then you'd multiply and you'd get 1, 2, 3, 4 products, and then you'd take them out and add those together. Again, multiply and then add. And then finally, the other way I'm going to show you is just kind of stacking. They're just different ways of organizing them. They're all the same. But the stacking method here is a plus b. This is kind of the method that I like the best, over c minus d, and then I'd multiply. And then multiply here and get a product, and then multiply here and I get a product, and then I multiply here and get a product, and then I multiply here and get a product, and then I've got those 4 products, and then I combine those. So I will put those to work here, but feel free to fast forward if you don't like this. You want the one or you want the other, so you can kind of see what you need to do for what you like. So the first off here, I've got 2x minus 5 times 6x squared minus 5x minus 3. And you can choose whichever way you like better, or if there's some other way that you want to do it, that's great. Just make sure you can justify your answer. 2x times 6x squared. Let's take care of that one first. 2x times 6x squared. 2 times 6 would be 12. X times x squared would be x to the 3rd power. And then 2x times negative 5x. So a positive times a negative would be negative. 2 times 5, 10. And x times x is x squared. And then I've got 2x times negative 3. Again, a positive times a negative is negative. 2 times 3 is 6. Then with the x, that's 6x. Then I have to take the minus 5 times each of those as well. So minus 5 times 6x squared. Negative times a positive, that's negative 30x squared. Negative 5 times a negative 5x. Negative times negative is positive. 5 times 5 is 25. And then it has the 1x there as well. And then finally, negative 5 times negative 3. Negative times a negative is positive. And 5 times 3 is 15. And then I'm going to kind of make note. I'm going to use a little color to help us see which ones are like terms. So this minus 10x squared is a like term with this minus 30x squared. And then also this minus 6x, and this plus 25x are also like terms because they both have the x. The negative 12x cubed and the plus 15, they don't have another term that's the same. There's not another x cubed term. There's not another. These are called constants. There's not another constant because it doesn't have the variable with it. And so they are just going to stay the same. So our answer here would be 12x cubed. If you have a negative 10x squared and a negative 30x squared, you have to make sure that you keep the 2 parts of this separate, right? We multiply and then we add or combine. And those are different processes. So when you're combining, it's just kind of like adding. We can combine them because they're like terms, but those terms don't change. So that minus 10 and minus 30 is like the elevator I've talked about here. If I go down 10, and then from there I go down 30, that's a total of down 40. So that's minus 40x squared. And then the minus 6x and plus 25. If I go down 6, and then from there I go up 25, they have a tendency to kind of cancel each other out. So what would I'd be positive? I'm going to be above 0. We always assume we're going to start at 0. So I go down 6, negative 6, and then I go up from there, 25. And I'm at plus 19x. And then plus 15. Again, just to kind of keep, to draw attention to this, this is the result of minus 6x plus 25x. And this is the result of minus 10x squared and minus 30x squared. And then each of these all right, let's see here. This 12x cubed is this right here, and then you got the plus 15, and I won't color that one. Let's take a look at what this would look like if we use the box. So in the box, we're going to get the same answer. It's just set up a little bit differently. So we're going to use a 2x3 box. The 2-part, 2x minus 5 along the side, and then 6x squared minus 5x minus 3. We're going to end up with the same 6 products that we had before. 2 times 6, 12. X times x squared is x cubed. This is the multiply part, so make sure that you're following the rules for multiplication. When we multiply like bases, we add the exponents. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x squared. And then 2x times negative 3 is negative 6x. Negative 5 times 6x squared would be negative 30x squared. Negative 5 times negative 5x plus 25x. Be careful to watch for the signs. A negative 5 times a negative 5, that's positive. And then 5 times 5, 25. And then a negative 5 times a negative 3 is plus 15. And now I'm going to take all of those products out and combine those that are like terms. And I just be careful that when I'm doing that I'm bringing together those that are like terms. So there's my 12x squared. That one right there, got it. My minus 10x squared, minus 10x squared, and my minus 30x squared. Those are the like terms, minus 30x squared, plus 25x, minus 6x, minus 6x, and then plus 15. And these that are like terms, I've got my 12x cubed minus 40x squared. These are like terms, so that's plus 19x and then plus 15. Same answer, just organized in a little different way. And then finally, this is kind of the way that I prefer, just stacking it. 6x squared minus 5x minus 3 and 2x minus 5. And then I'm going to just separate those just a little bit more. 2x minus 5. And so my first, and then to show that they're multiplied, I just kind of put an asterisk there to show, hey, these are being multiplied. Negative 5 times a negative 3 would be plus 15. And then a negative 5 times a negative 5x, that would give me plus 25x. And then negative 5 times 6x squared would be negative 30x squared. Then I have to take my 2x times each of those. 2x times negative 3 would be negative 6x. And I put it right here because this is its like term. Just like you would when you're multiplying a 3-digit number times a 2-digit number. That's kind of why I like this one best, because it's like the other way that we would multiply just a regular, if I had 653 times 25, you would do it in that same way, right? So let's see, 2x times minus 3, I got it. 2x times negative 5x, that'd be minus 10x squared. And then 2x times 6x squared would give us 12x cubed. And now I have done the multiply part, and now I'm going to do the add part. So this plus 15 has nothing to combine with. These two combine to give us plus 19x. These two combine to give us the negative 40x squared. And then finally, I've got 12x cubed, which has nothing to combine with, so it stays the same. And again, same answer, just a different way of formatting them. I've shown you the different ways so that you can choose which one you like the best. But choose whichever. Yeah, I mean, there's no right way. There's just different ways, and you can do the one that you like the most.